should get a generator and a NAS system.
Like, unfortunately, like, yeah, probably. Generator for sure. Like, generator, you should probably get a Generac, like gas line generator, unfortunately. Like, yeah. You should spend the $7,000 to get that for your house.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I listen. I couldn't just go get a Generac. But like, yeah, you probably should just go get a Generac. And then a NAS, yeah, also probably. Unfortunately. Yeah. And also unfortunately, because those things are fucking annoying.
Yeah, they're really annoying.
You're gonna get a fucking NAS, have a server running in your fucking house.
I can't even set up like a fucking emulator on my computer.
No, that's exactly right. Right. Like, which is not an indictment of you, but like,
no.
It's just it's so fucking stupid. This shit should just work. You shouldn't have to go get a server for your house.
Right.
No. But it would probably be useful for Anne and her pictures too, and her music also.
That's true.
If you just had like a home server.
A home server.
And all your shit kind of backs up to that.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the show, by the way.
Hey, what's up?
BGB's episode 35. Come to you live from the beginning stages of the end of this country. Hi, I'm one of your hosts, John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Nikki Grayson, until they turn the internet off for all the libs.
That's fine.
It would probably be actually really useful for us, generally, if they would just flip the switch.
Let's turn it off.
Let's just turn it off. How's it going? You having a good day?
I woke up at 7:30 and I said, no.
Now, folks,
I just want. Here's what I'm trying to say. Here's the fucking thing. It would just be so fucking sick if one single thing worked. If just one thing on God's great orb would fucking work. I know why. It's because I have the heater on because it's cold in this room.
It's cold. So to part the curtain a little bit, if you're not watching on video, Nikki's camera has gone out. And regardless of if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on podcast, you won't know that we spent about 15 minutes before we went live troubleshooting Nikki's headphone situation, which went from one set of headphones to a different set of headphones and now to a third set of headphones. And Nikki's not even that pleased with that set of headphones. So it's very funny. In the Nikki's
They're comfy.
Camera. They look comfy. They look ergonomic.
Yeah, they fit in my ear hole better than the Apple ones, I guess.
Yeah. But the Apple ones don't feel like they fit in my ear hole. No, right?
But the noise cancellation on these ones makes me feel like I'm talking in my own head.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that part's not as good. It's like it isn't canceling out my own voice. I can feel like it feels like it's in here. What was I saying? I woke up at 7:30.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't need to do that right now. And then I went to hit snooze, but on the iPhone, the snooze button is smaller and not colored like the stop the alarm button.
Correct.
Because the phone was designed by a fucking idiot who has a person wake them up every single day.
Yep.
So then I overslept. I woke up at 8:30 and I said, well, it's 8:30. That's disorienting. Because it did just feel like I closed my eyes and reopened them, but an hour had gone by.
Sure. Yeah. Which is one of the worst feelings you can have. Yeah.
And then I was like, my phone was like, I kind of like sat for 10 minutes as I like got up to speed. And then my phone was like, oh, hey, you have an appointment in 10 minutes, a doctor's appointment in 10 minutes. I said, huh? And then I looked at my calendar and I had a doctor's appointment in 10 minutes. And then I called them and I was like, I'm going to be late. And they were like, who knows what's going to happen? What can we don't know. So then I had to walk Barley and she was pissed and confused because blah, blah, blah. And then I got on the 134 and then some idiot's R.E.V.O died in the middle lane. So then there was traffic on the way to the fucking doctor. And I got there and the appointment was fine. And then I had to come back and then now I'm here.
crucially, you were also on the stream we did right before this, and also on the Giant Bomb
stream before that. Yes.
So it's not like you've been very busy today after sleeping.
I've been at some point. I started working again, and I don't know like how that happened.
Yeah.
I had it pretty good for a while where I was like working, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. And now it's started again, so it's kind of like,
Can we just not? We don't have to.
We don't gotta. Like, of all of the times for me to start working again, now is not it.
It's probably not it. Yeah.
How are you, John? You're contemplating a NAS and a generator.
Yeah.
So pretty good, probably.
The NAS is one of those things that, like, I've been thinking about ever since, I've just been, noticing that things that, let's say that I've purchased on Amazon, I just quote unquote don't own anymore.
Yeah.
Even though I bought it. And I don't have the means to go to Jeff's house and shake him down.
Yeah, no, for
sure. So I just kind of want to maybe get a NAS and then, legally procure all the things that I'm missing.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get flicks and stuff because, I mean, I don't watch them. It doesn't matter for me. I just want to watch Raw. It's so fucking hard.
I just want to watch Raw. That's all I want.
If they offered a Raw tier of Netflix,
that was just Raw,
and it was $8 a month, and the only thing I could access was Raw.
The only thing is Raw. The only thing
that would be huge for me.
Wow. Okay.
The only thing on Netflix that I want to watch is Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
I don't need anything else on there. I was upset with everyone was like, "Oh, how fucking sick! Who has USA? Me. I have USA. I have cable. I like cable."
Mm-hmm.
John, you can get how big's your house?
How big is my house? It's like
how many square feet?
It's like 2,000 square. No, it's like 1,800 square feet.
Okay, well, you can get this Generac natural gas home standby generator. It's only $5,737, and then
but it's gas though. But you have to connect to a gas line. I don't have gas.
You don't have gas.
No, this neighborhood doesn't have gas because they used to frack in this neighborhood.
Fracked it to hell. You don't have gas.
They fracked this neighborhood. We don't have gas.
Oh, bud, you're fucked then.
What about solar? Do they do solar yet?
They do solar.
Do they do propane? I could do a propane one.
Oh, this one also supports propane.
Okay. How long does a propane tank last for those? Does it say?
Well, probably you got to put a bunch of propane in there.
Right. Well, it's probably going to be one of those big tanks.
Yeah, liquid propane. Then you have a propane tank outside of your house. And if any chuckle fuck with a gun wants to blow your whole house up, they'll see the big red barrel and they'll say, "I'll shoot that."
Yeah, it's like Virtua Cop. Red barrel. Open fire. Got it.
This one takes propane. So you're fine. Just do this.
Right.
I'll send you this link. You just grab that so right now.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and get it. I'll just go ahead and buy it. It's crazy how fast I've gone to I've gone from these fucking idiots in a bunker collecting food in a generator to how much does the generator cost?
Yeah, no, for sure. How much is the generator?
It's great. It's really cool. Fortunately, knock on wood, Texas has not had one of those big, weird, terrible power outages due to not yet.
Soon.
It probably will get cold again in February.
Yeah.
Usually does.
I'm on the run.
Yeah,
no, for sure. This one, gang, we're sleepy.
Yeah, we're sleepy. I don't know if it'll be short, but I don't know if it'll be our best effort. You know what I mean?
No, it won't.
That's the VGB's guarantee. One out of every 35 is going to be a fucking stinker.
Well, no,
which is still pretty good.
It's a good ratio.
That's a pretty good ratio. That's better than the other people you work with.
Hey, boom.
Hey, that's not even true.
Woo.
I don't know how y'all make so much shit.
I don't either.
It's wild.
It's kind of, some would say it's a lot.
Grub talks about so much every week, and I'm just like,
dude,
how are you not talked out, brother?
and then he has to talk to his wife and kids too.
I know, and he seems to like that, which is great. That probably helps, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, folks, get yourself a partner and some children that you like.
Just go find some kids.
Just go find some kids. And yeah, it's no big deal.
It doesn't really matter what order you get them in. You just need both.
Hey, last week we talked about how both Dragon Age, the Veilguard, and FC25 underperformed. And Nikki and I both did say, like, you know, the FC football thing, 25, that's probably going to have worse consequences than the other thing. And sure enough, who's to say if they're correlated directly? But BioWare just did some very quiet, very strange layoffs. No idea about the amount of headcount that was actually impacted. But they did lose some folks. They lost some folks to other studios at EA as well. Very vague and strange blog posts from General Manager Gary McKay. You can read the blog post. We'll post it on the... I wrote an article that links to this, and we'll also post it on the show notes. Very strange, very vague. They basically say... sorry, where is it? Given the stage of development, we don't require support from the full studio, which is very strange, because what that would imply to me is that, like, oh, well, the rest of the studio is going to go work on something else, and not the rest of the studio is not actually going to have a job here anymore. Which is
like, huh?
So this is a bad blog. IGN reporting, I think they were the first to report that there are actual layoffs here. Ethan Gatch over at Kotaku speculating that there are fewer than 100 people over at BioWare now, which is crazy. There's nothing else planned with Dragon Age: The Veilguard, no DLC. They had already kind of made that known. But this is all to say that Mass Effect 5, or whatever they're going to call it, is still technically in development. They have a core team working on it. Yeah, and they've outsourced other parts of it. Nikki, this game is never coming out.
No. It's going to come out because they need it to come out so they can be like, this is why we're killing it. They're not going to kill BioWare entirely. They're not going to look back and go, oh, we perhaps mismanaged this to death. And then we asked you then to make a AAA video game on which you need to sell 5 to 7 million copies.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 at the minimum.
Yeah. And then obviously it's not going to make that because they have 7 people working on it. And are expecting it to be something else. They need the sacrificial lamb to come out. I think in a very cynical way, I think they understand that people understand that Dragon Age: The Veilguard was busted in development.
Yes.
And I think that they understand it enough to be like, well, we can't kill the studio off of that one. But the next one, for sure, we can definitely do it off of the next one. Fucking blows, dude. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's just really goofy. I mean, I certainly have a viewpoint on this that, like, I don't think a lot of my colleagues share, but I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to gauge. But, like, I don't need this game. Like, I do not need this game. Sure. I do not think they're going to save the legacy of this franchise by making this game.
No.
I think what they're going to do is they're going to put these people through the paces with an unbelievable amount of pressure to perform, and it won't matter. I mean, it's not going to hit the goal that they need.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And they're not going to make the game that they need to make, because I don't buy that they're just going to change the way that they do this, and now they're outsourcing a bunch of stuff, and then it's going to be exactly what people want. The magic of the original Mass Effect trilogy was that 3 really good games came out within 5 years, all on one console cycle.
Yeah.
Like, trying to explain that to someone who's getting into AAA game development now must feel crazy.
Yeah.
The absolute backslide we have had from teams like BioWare being able to put together Mass Effect in 5 years, the trilogy, and I mean, obviously 7 or so years because they were in development before the first one, but to have all of that kind of happen within a 5-year release window, And now we're talking about it'll probably be a decade since Andromeda released that this comes out. It was a decade between Inquisition and Veilguard, and we saw what Veilguard is. A lot of people like Veilguard. I think Veilguard's pretty good, but I don't think it remembers what made those first games special.
It can't, right?
It can't.
Like
it's a human issue. It's a human issue. The people that were in the building then are not there no longer now.
Yes. And like the other part of it, right, is that you can't. The momentum is so important, right? It makes sense if you are a studio that has a bunch of people like BioWare used to, and then you're kind of all rotating onto and off of stuff, right? So like you finish a Mass Effect, you go to a Dragon Age, you do the Dragon Age, and then the Dragon Age is done, you go to the KOTOR is done, you go to the Mass Effect, and then you kind of like do that loop over the course of a decade. And it's like, yes, we are taking the learnings that we have gotten from doing the rest of this work. But if you are trapped on making the same video game for 10 years, and then also in the middle of making that video game for 10 years, you inherently become behind the 8 ball on account of the fact that you cannot do, you're making the same video game for 10 years. So you have 10-year-old ideas in this video game that is coming out now. It's like, of course that doesn't work.
And you have 10-year-old mechanics and systems that you've had to build the scaffolding on for all of this to work. And then you can't actually inject anything fresh into it because all that shit's going to collapse. Like, it just doesn't make sense as a business model. I am amused, but actually for real, not in the camp. The person producing this podcast is going to laugh at the irony here. I'm not in the camp that I just want shorter games with worse graphics, but I do wish people would get paid more to do less. I do wish that was always the case.
Yeah.
But I do wish there were big beefy games, and I do wish there were really long juicy games and big swings like a trilogy where you carry the same person throughout. You're creating, you're sending your choices forward, all that. I think all that stuff is really great. But the backslide of game development, whatever that looks like, and it's certainly not laziness, but it's mismanagement and it's decision making from the top to say, we're going to spend X amount on this game kind of come hell or high water. And I don't understand why no adult in the room is going, we can all still make the same amount of money, but we don't have to spend this kind of money.
Yeah.
And I just don't think they could do it. I like that part of it is like they just can't do it. Like they can't make something that we care about as much as we cared about the originals.
Yeah.
They just can't do it.
So to ask them to do it is kind of nuts.
It's
Let
terrible.
them make something else.
Make something else. You now have a lean team. You have a small team. Make something else different. It's like this was a legendary kind of IP machine. Like at one point, a lot of those people are gone, but it's like, I don't trust them to do something. Yes. Well, now I'm losing the name of it. What was the Anthem? Anthem was a big swing and it was bad.
But I think it's so damning, right? That like you can't. This is not an industry somehow where you can fuck up anymore. The last AAA game. Oh, I'm trying to. Well, I guess maybe that's not true. Or let me take a step back. You can fuck up if you don't have people that you need to answer to. So, Hello Games fucked up real bad.
Right.
They put out No Man's Sky. Shit was busted. For the last 10 years, people have been begging them to say, you don't have to do this one anymore. You did great.
You did really good.
You did good. You fixed it. And then you put 7 other video games inside of it. And then this week they said, we put more planets in it. And we also changed the way that the computer makes all the planets. And also there's new guys. And then it's like, you did that
really deep.
Yeah, you did that 2 years ago also. And it was revolutionary when you did it then. And now you're saying you've just kind of done it again because you were bored? Question mark. Like, it is possible. I don't mean to say that it is impossible. But for these bigger companies that have shareholders whose existence is predicated on number go up. Somehow you can't have a single mistake. And like Anthem, big mistake, right?
Big mistake.
But that's also the nature of making
stuff.
Period.
A project.
You just make stuff. Sometimes it fucks up.
Yes.
Yeah. They're not all bangers.
Right.
They released an iPhone that you couldn't hold right. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They put the iPhone out and then you couldn't hold it because it made the antennas break. So then the Apple man had to come on TV and he said, we've invented plastic to go around the iPhone. And that's the only way you can use it. We can't fix it for a calendar year. And everyone was folks, like, okay.
If you didn't know this, by the way, and I'm going to do this on camera, you used to be able to get an iPhone and just do this and you could, your signal's fucking gone. It's gone.
Yeah, the iPhone 4, which was one of the best looking ones. But the antenna lines the antenna was like, it was just, they picked a bad antenna and it was in a bad spot. So you held the phone and it would fuck up. And then Apple's initial excuse was they said you're holding the phone incorrectly.
Yep.
And then they were like,
so funny.
Really funny. Really unbelievably funny. God, that would hit. If someone was like, you're holding it wrong now, I'd be like, thank you so much. Actually, you know what? I am. I didn't think about it that way, but I am holding the phone wrong. Thank you for having the fucking gall to say it to me.
Thank you so much.
But like you can't fuck up anymore, which obviously means that like you can't have good ideas anymore either, because on the way to good ideas is bad ideas.
Yeah.
Which means that the only ideas you can have are good ideas that people have already been doing for a million years. So I don't know.
The bad ideas that seem permissible are the ones that are just like spending way too much on a game. Like,
yeah, wouldn't it be advantageous if they didn't spend $200 million on a video game? Like from the top perspective, if someone was like, you can spend $40 million on 4 $10 million video games, or you can spend $200 million on one video game.
Yeah,
that might not go good. You might not get that.
Right.
It's really easy to make $10 million. Actually, yes, it is really easy to make $10 million.
Yeah.
If you're Electronic Arts.
Yeah, if you're EA, for sure.
It's really easy to make $10 million.
Yes.
Way harder to make $200 million for everybody involved.
Like, look at what Warhammer is doing. They're basically outsourcing their license to a bunch of different game developers that are making things like racing games, first-person shooters. Obviously, Space Marine was the most like successful and notable.
Hey, John, what racing game is? Oh,
there's like a fucking Twisted Metal.
What?
It's out. It's like it's on.
Wait, am I gonna get into Warhammer?
Fuck, what's it called? I have it. Let me read. It's been forever since I booted it up.
Warhammer 40K Speed Freaks.
That's it. Yep. Warhammer 40K Speed Freaks. That's exactly it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
No, it's all right. But they also made Rogue Trader, which is like, friend of the show, Merritt K, and some other people I trust are like, this is about as good as Baldur's Gate 3. And it's like, it's a really good RPG. That team did not spend $200 million making this game. Like, not even close. If they turned Mass Effect, if they took a 40-person team and they're like, you need to make Mass Effect, but now it's basically a top-down isometric RPG, but we can just write in a bunch of this like story, decision tree stuff. It's like, I think that would be well received and probably make its money back and then some.
Yes.
But like spending $200 million on a third person, it won't be $200 million, but it'll be really expensive on a third person action shooter that feels like it was made 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, like
that's going to feel very noticeable to everyone.
Yes.
And it's just, we're innovating in the wrong ways, and we're not innovating in the wrong ways.
Wrong ways also. Yeah.
It's just like, it is, It's strange. And it's like, it is slippery slope, especially with some audiences, to hear that I'm an advocate for smaller teams and spending less, as that sounds like you are in favor of layoffs and paying people less, which is not what that means.
No.
All I mean is that you could have the team at BioWare that was 200 people and split it into 3 and create more products that are coming out more frequently. So you're top of mind. BioWare could be top of mind like it was in the 2000s when they were publishing a game every 18 months. That's what they were fucking doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're top of mind and you're making smaller shit and you're not breaking your back trying to recapture the glory of something that happened more than 10 years ago, you give yourself a better chance to succeed. I know a lot. Michael Heim, a lot of people are like, no, this game will come out in some. I disagree. Like, I do not think this game is going to come out. One, I think it is 8 years for being ready, and I don't think the studio makes it 8 years.
Makes it 8 years?
No. In no way do I think that.
Yeah,
because
no, for sure.
There's so much else going on at EA that seems to be a little bit teetering. And if one more thing falls for them, I don't think the studio exists anymore.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
that's a bummer. And I hope I'm wrong, but it's just so like
crazy though.
It feels impossible for the studio to still exist in 8 years without something coming out.
Just what if it didn't take 8 years?
Yeah, listen, if they come out, if they come out in 6 months, if Jeff comes on stage on June 6th and says Mass Effect out August 2026, and they mean
not
it,
possible,
I'll be like,
but like, yeah,
I'll be like, all right. But this blog post and everything around it makes this feel like a 2028 at the earliest to me. And I don't know. I just don't see it. Especially when they've admitted that this is the only thing that they're working on. That should scare everyone way more than anything.
Yeah, no, that you have nothing else. You haven't had a single different new idea.
There's nothing
or been allowed to have a single different new idea. But it's probably right because they've been so fucking deep in the Dragon Age hole.
Yes.
For the last 30 years.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, these creative people at the studio go home and they think about stuff that they want to make, that they can't.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God, make this Mass Effect thing something small, something weird. And this is on a personal level, like, give up on the fucking make a sequel to the Shepherd stuff. Like, that's such a bad fucking idea. You're like, bring back Shepherd. That's a bad idea. Right? It's just a bad idea at its core.
Why would you set yourself up to have to do more narratively? Why would you do that? Wouldn't it be easier to just not do that and say, we're going to get in and get out just to see? Because if we're able to get in and get out just to see, and then we don't have to worry about, okay, well, if we set this up, it takes way longer to make a 3-part story that you are trying to tell over the course of a trilogy than it is to make a one-off. We're just going to tell you this one story. And if it connects, it connects. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it does, we'll figure that out after we'll
figure it out after. Yep. Yeah. To me, this feels like breaking news. CNN comes in. There's Anderson Cooper. He goes, this is crazy, but Michael Jackson is back from the dead. They brought him back.
God,
back.
That would bang.
And in 4 years, he's going to give a concert of all of his hits. Do you, Nikki Grayson, sitting at home watching CNN, Anderson Cooper tells you Michael Jackson's, you haven't seen him. There's no visual evidence that Michael Jackson's back. It's just Anderson Cooper telling you that he's back, and in 4 years he's gonna play Billie Jean. He's gonna do the fucking moonwalk. He's even gonna play Man in the fucking Mirror.
Wow.
And in 4 years, get ready for that concert. Are you like, oh, that concert's definitely happening and it's going to be great?
That concert's not happening.
Like, I just don't understand it. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I just think it's a really strange thing. And I feel bad for this team. I feel bad for the folks that were laid off, obviously. And no one's there. Like, really, no one's there. A lot of people that used to be there have been posting on Blue Sky and stuff like, hey, like, literally no one that I know that was there when X was made still works there. So this is a very strange thing, and sad. But whatever, life goes on.
Life goes on. There's no other problems.
Keep fucking that chicken. Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 in the spring with crossplay, which kind of whips ass. It's also maybe the first clear indication that we're going to get much more. You can't hear out of your earphones anymore.
I can't hear you.
Can you still not hear me?
No, I can't hear you. I don't know if they died. It's made a noise. It made a turn off noise. And I can't tell if that's because I took one out of my ear because I needed to scratch.
Oh, I hate that.
They disconnected entirely.
Okay.
I'm connecting them again.
Okay. Tell me when you can hear me.
Are they dead? Hello?
Tell me when you can hear me.
What? The light's on.
The lights are on, but no one's
Bluetooth
home.
mode. Hello?
Your mind is not your own. Your heartbeat sweats. Your body shakes. Another kiss is what it takes.
Wait, can you hear me?
You can't sleep. No,
okay.
You can't eat. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Only in one ear though.
We'll make it. It's fine.
So,
we'll make it. This isn't going more than an hour, I don't think. So I think we're good.
No, we've got 3 hours of great podcasts left in us.
3 hours of high energy.
The other one turned on. So here's what happened. If you take them out of your ear, it says, "Oh, that there's no reason why you would ever want to do that. So we'll just turn these fuckers off."
I hate that so much.
No,
I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Apple does the same fucking thing. You take one headphone out to scratch your ear, and it's like, you wanted us to pause whatever you were watching, right? Pause it?
No, I didn't ask for that. I would have paused it if that's what I wanted.
Right.
What were we talking about before my ears?
Forza Horizon 5 coming to PlayStation 5 with crossplay. Are you excited about? Are you excited about Halo and Gears? It just fell on the floor.
The other headphones.
Okay.
They just jumped off. I have not moved.
I can see that. Are you excited about crossplay between PlayStation? Are you excited about Gears on PlayStation?
No.
Are you excited about Halo?
I don't like holding the PlayStation controller. So
you don't?
No.
Interesting. I feel like the triggers make more sense on.
Nah, I don't like holding. I don't like using the PlayStation 5, and I don't like interacting with it via the controller. So no, the sticks suck. The stick holes are too big. There's too much space in the stick holes.
How much is Phil paying you?
A lot, dude. A lot.
I would love
I have 7 Generacs on their way. They all say
you'll never lose power.
They're bright green and they're in their Xboxes. I can run Game Pass directly on my Generac.
That's awesome.
You can't turn the fucking thing off by holding the power button. The button that you press to turn it on does not turn it off.
I know.
That is disqualifying.
I know. You have to do too many steps to use the middle button to do it. Yeah, you're right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, on Xbox, you just hold that thing down and you just go up. You go up one. You could do it without. I could turn it off without.
I could turn yes, me too. I can turn the TV. I can turn the TV off and then turn the Xbox off.
Oh, 100%.
Because
I have walked into my office in the morning and realized, oh fuck, I left my Xbox on all night.
Yeah.
And I just hold the button up left, and then I hit A. That's it.
That's it. It's over.
That's it.
It's not hard. It's not hard. Stupid. Anyway, good for the game publisher and only the game publisher, Microsoft, for releasing video games on the most popular platform.
What is PlayStation? Because he was on a podcast recently and said something like, yes, like, we're in this kind of ecosystem stage, right? Which he's really alluded to forever. And they've made, I think, baby steps toward doing that. But he also said, like, yeah, we also hope that our hardware wins. And I'm like,
but I think,
do you? It's a weird, almost like from a business boy perspective, I look at him saying that, I'm like, you can't expect both of those things
but
to happen.
I wonder if in his brain he's like, well, the hardware win we're going to do is we see that nobody's buying any of these fucking boxes anymore. Right. Everybody just wants a Nintendo Switch. Right. If we beat Sony to putting out our Switch first,
right,
then that's where we will win on hardware on account of the fact that we make Windows. Now,
do you think they will? Do you think they will be okay with the loss of? They would. For my money, I think it would be a good plan to go into that hybrid model and not give as much of a fuck about fidelity. But do you think that they care about that?
I think no, because it isn't that expensive. They already aren't making money on it.
Right. Yep.
So like, it's not like they can, I guess, make less money, but right. That part's not, it doesn't matter. I don't think. Yeah. I think their move is they have a big box that does a lot. And they're like, this is the best way to play Halo. Plain and simple. If you don't want to play it the best, that's fine. It is also on the PlayStation and on the personal computer. That's fine. But this is simply Master Chief's got the most polygons on this God's Xbox. And that God's Xbox does cost like $700.
Yeah.
And that's fine for them. Because they already sell hardware that costs that much money. If they price them like they price the Surface stuff, and they're like, yeah, this is just an expensive computer, basically. We cut out the weird shit. And like and then they get to the point where they actually do have Steam in the Epic Game Store on it. And they're like, this is simply the best way to play Halo. It runs Steam and it has Epic Games and you can just play shit on it. And that's kind of it. It's $700. And then they get an Xbox Series S into the body of a Steam Deck. And then they charge $400 for it or $450. That's it. They're done. They don't ever need to do anything else. Every 2 years you release an updated version of the handheld one, and then you update the big one. And I think like they're completely fine making the rest of their money on selling games to people who have PlayStations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think it's fine.
I mean, Call of Duty, what if 62% of sales were through PlayStation 5?
And it's like, that's why they bought Activision, right?
That's why they did it. Yeah.
That's literally why they did it. And like, shrewd, unbelievably shrewd. They got ahead. This was not a decision in like, oh, we are predicting that Sony is going to trip over their own dicks. Well, maybe they did because I saw this. John Warren, when did I see this coming?
A long time ago. That was like 2019.
2019, John.
Yeah, it was 2019.
So I saw this shit coming.
Video office in fucking Santa Monica. Yeah.
But like they obviously did. I don't think anybody kind of was under the impression that Sony was going to blow it as much as they did.
Yeah.
But like the move to buy Activision, so you basically just buy Call of Duty as the machine that will always sell until we stop making video games. Yeah, it's really smart.
Yeah, really smart.
Really smart. Yeah. You'll make the money. Yeah. You will make the money back.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
And because you have such a strong ability to make that money, it doesn't matter if you're losing money on hardware. You don't care. You do need to still shut the people up who are like, if there's no Xbox, what is Xbox?
Right.
And then you can be like, well, go fucking buy one. It's a Target right now. It's $900. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or go buy a PlayStation. We don't care.
We don't care. So. Do you think we're within?
No. Fuck. Shit. No, John, the earbud fell out of my ear.
Oh my
I have to move so fast.
Oh my God. No, you're so screwed. Nikki dropped her headphone again. Did it go in? Is it back? Are you good? Good job.
We're back. It's beeping though.
How how soon? Okay, I don't think it'll be this Super Bowl. I think next Super Bowl there will be a Super Bowl ad that shows a Nintendo Switch and a PlayStation, and it says, "This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox."
We had that though. No, remember that?
No.
That green. Well, no. We didn't
No,
have that.
we
but
did
like,
not. Crucially, we did not have the specifics of those
the items.
rival consoles.
Oh man, but that is such a bent knee from on behalf of both Nintendo. That's Nintendo. That's Nintendo hearing that someone else is bending the knee.
I mean,
being
I don't think
bent my knee
Nintendo would.
too.
Right, I know. Nintendo feels impossible for that to show up.
The Sony one feels more plausible. The Sony
feels plausible to
it
me.
being a Sony, like a PlayStation and Xbox commercial, and the reveal is that like one person is playing Call of Duty, and you like very clearly see like an Xbox controller, and then it like split screens over, and then there's a person with a PlayStation controller.
Yes.
And then they're like, we're gamers.
We're gamers. We're gamers.
We're gamers.
I just love the idea of a commercial showing a PlayStation saying this is an Xbox, because I would love to know the small group that is like fundamentally confused by it and is like, wait a second. Wait,
hold on, what do you mean?
Hold on, wait.
Yeah, that changes it in the PlayStation becomes a Kleenex, or like Xbox becomes Kleenex somehow. Like that's the only reason why I can't see Sony doing it. To be like, you know what? Fuck our brand. It is an Xbox. I
wonder what kind of deal they'd have to cut with Sony to let them do that.
Give us for the low price of all of Call of Duty.
We will
let you call the PlayStation an
extra cut of all of these things. I don't know. I just think it is an interesting stance to be like, we're doing this really bold ecosystem thing. Also, the hardware is still really important and we want to win. And it's like, that's ambitious, but I just like don't.
Yeah, only one of those can be
I'm
true.
Kind of like, I think one of those things is going to happen and the other one's not.
Yeah.
And I think they're happy with both outcomes.
No, for
if they really truly get the ecosystem in place and it works, and they've like started to adopt a bunch of players who have Switches and PlayStations that have never touched Gears of War or Halo or whatever, then I feel like that's a victory. But also, if they don't manage to fully do that and they kind of like just have this like very kind of half measure version of that, but their consoles start actually beating the others, then they're happy with both those scenarios.
Yeah, no.
What I'm concerned for on their behalf is that like I don't think they may not do either. So
sure,
like then what? You know?
But I just think that they can't come out and not say we're going to try to still win on hardware, because I think people are so, even though that number is dwindling every year, there's still 30% fewer consoles this over 2024 than they did compared to 2023.
There's still people really spooked by that idea.
Yes. And like the idea that they could not go into Target to buy an Xbox is because we live in hell. Right. Bad conceptually for people. Which is why they release a new fucking Samsung Galaxy phone every year, even though they haven't had anything new on one of those in 3 years. They release an iPhone every year, even though there hasn't really been anything new, right? Like they invent different buttons, set a feature. But they have to put a new one out every year. I think in order to support the other part of the business, which is the like we make video games business, it is their kind of obligation to also make the computer to play it on. Yeah. Even though, again, they own Windows. So like they don't gotta.
They don't have to do anything.
They don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's the funny part of it. It's just like
they own Windows.
Yeah.
Dude, this fucking Microsoft handheld, whenever I'm betting that we see it at Summer Games Fest. Is what I would.
You're right. I think
we see it at Summer, like we get a tease, like a Durango-esque tease. And there will be a closed
it doesn't come out
until next year.
I bet there will be a closed war.
Yeah, I'm sure.
With a demo or something.
And then
that I won't be.
But it's gonna run like Windows 8 or some shit somehow. Like they're gonna be like, oh, we didn't realize that we could just walk over to the Windows team. So we built
we kind of built
We built
did
Windows
more
ourselves.
work. Yeah, we did it, and also we were mandated to put Teams on this thing. So
yeah, there's we saw that Nintendo was going to put a controller out with the C button for campus, and we put a T button on ours, and it just all it does is open Teams. It is not remappable.
It opens Teams. You actually can't close it, and you do have to create an account to log into this thing. So
not to be crazy though, but I've had this idea in my brain. It is unbelievable to me that they are not selling an Xbox as a Windows PC for people. You should be able to go into the Best Buy and come out with a tower that Microsoft makes called the Xbox, and it's a home PC. It runs Windows and also can do Office stuff and the web browser, and it's an Xbox also.
Yeah.
It seems like such an easy product to make and release, which is why I think like this next Xbox is going to be the closest thing to a Windows gaming PC we can get. They're going to like in a smart world, right? They leverage the fact that they get deals from AMD that nobody else can get.
Right. Yep.
And they just have an APU that is really well optimized for video game, but also can, if you wanted to do Blender on it, yeah, you can do Blender on it. If they sold a box that was like, you can run UAFN on it, just Unreal Engine runs on this. You can make stuff on this thing and play Fortnite still.
Huge.
That's easy fucking money to me.
It's huge. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a real, I mean, it really would be
it'll run like a toaster.
Force. I mean, a force. Wait, what a toaster?
I said it'll run like a toaster.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares?
It might. But yeah, I don't know. So it'll be interesting. But Forza Horizon 5 seems to be the first kind of like crossplay target for them, which is a fun game. I don't think it's as good as Forza 4, Forza Horizon 4, but you know,
no,
it's.
I mean, I don't think any of them are as good as the second one was, but
yep, that was also a good one. The Video Game History Foundation,
dude,
and their
cool
museum.
Good news.
Good news
on this program.
Good news for once. You can go to archive.gamehistory.org and you will find that the entire Video Game History Museum has posted their collection for you to kind of peruse and look up online. They do have a full digital archive as well, which allows you to kind of look up things like old issues of Dreamcast magazine or EGM or like a lot of other
Game Informer 207.
There you can find the Game Informers from fall 91 through August 2024, right? In this thing
John.
Right here. Yes.
July 2010. Okay. Game Informer issue 207. This is such a gift. The number of games we're going to be able to play on this program. I need you. July 2010.
Oh.
What is the game on the cover of Game Informer issue 207? You can look up what games came out in the window, I guess. You just cannot look at the cover, obviously. July 2010 is when this cover came out. Okay. And that's kind of a throw, right? Because it could be we're highlighting this brand new game, or it could be we're doing a preview.
Yeah.
First look.
I am going to say, okay, I'm looking at September 2010 game releases because I bet it's a preview and I bet it is something weird and I bet it's not Death Spank Thongs of Virtue. Okay.
So since the country's falling apart and nothing is real and nothing matters anymore,
it's Tom Clancy's Hawks 2.
That's a great guess, but no.
What is it?
Infamous 2.
Infamous 2.
Mm-hmm. That game came out.
Now, when did that game come out?
A year
later. Okay. Yeah. Infamous 2. Okay. Good for them.
Your name in. Will anything come up?
There's this issue of Game Informer from '98 with Gex on the cover that I definitely had. There's one with Mario Kart 64 that I definitely had from 1997. Wow, I had a lot of these. I had a lot more of these Game Informers than I remember.
Yeah, I was subscribed to that magazine for a really long time.
Yeah, I guess I was too. A bummer, which is not surprising, but also stinks, is no Nintendo Power on this thing, which I was hoping to have.
I mean, but I'm sure they have it.
They have. I think they have them, but they're not going to put up a digital archive.
It would be not to be. I actually, legitimately, and actually have some hope that they will actually figure that out. I don't know why I feel that, because I don't feel that about most things, but I have some hope that they'll actually maybe work that out.
That would be
because the reasoning being that there's none of that stuff is at the Nintendo Museum, so it's not like their whole Nintendo themselves is trying to make more money off of it again later. And it would be free for Nintendo to do it.
Yeah.
So I actually do kind of have some hope that they might figure that out.
Well,
but
that's great.
I'm also wrong a lot.
Well, I wasn't going to say a lot, but it's like, we're all wrong.
Aren't we all?
We're all wrong. It happens. But you can go to, once again, that's archive.gamehistory.org. This must have been a hell of a project for that.
Yeah, lots of scanning.
A ton of scanning. The digital archive also includes the Cyan collection, which is a ton of stuff, videos and otherwise, that I believe Cyan actually just donated to the museum.
Yeah.
Which is just a bunch of stuff about Myst and the making of Myst and all that stuff, which I think is amazing.
I can't wait to crack into this shit later.
Yeah,
because they have all of the the filming bits.
It's really neat. It's really, really cool. It's kind of astonishing that they did this. They also have a donation page up. If you go to gamehistory.org/donate, you can donate to them. It is tax deductible under Section 501c3. At least right now, it is.
Yeah, for as long as there are taxes in this country.
As long as there are taxes, man, it's, it's up in the air whether or not I'm going to pay mine this year. That's the first time I've ever asked. First time I looked digitally. I looked my accountant dead in the face this week, and I was like,
"What if I don't?
What if I don't?
Yeah,
like for real. What if I like? What do you think will happen if I don't?
What do you say? Stuff.
He recommended that I pay my taxes.
He recommended that you pay your taxes. Yeah. What a fucking boo. I can't be the guy whose job it is to do taxes said you got to do them.
He was like, listen, I'm your fiduciary. You should probably do it. He understood why I was asking though, which is nice. So, but that is the good news from this week. That is great. You can also look up their physical collection and kind of see what they have. And from there, you can kind of look up things that they want. And then if you need to get in touch with them to check any of that stuff out or whatever, I don't know exactly how that process goes, but this is a really great step for research. The first thing I looked up was to see if they had the entire collection of PC Accelerator magazine. Nikki, do you know what PC Accelerator magazine is?
Well, I assume it's a magazine from PC Accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably got video games in it.
Mm-hmm.
They probably the Voodoo 3D guy that was on the graphics cards is probably on some of the covers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got.
So it is it is a personal computer gaming magazine, yes, but pretty much every cover story was essentially kind of a Maxim magazine in the late 90s kind of thing. So like a lady in like a bikini, and
PC
so it's kind of
Accelerator. So wait, they were trying to fuck the computers?
Well, the subtitle for the magazine is Games, Girls, and Gags. Isn't that great? What do you think the vibe of this thing was?
Bad, rancid.
Pretty
How do I
bad,
find it?
How do you find? I don't know. Just
What do I type in? Did I spell accelerator wrong?
So accelerator is the full name, but I think colloquially it's like PCXL. PCXL. And I think it was only like, it didn't last long. It lasted like less than 2 years.
I can't find it.
And here, let me do PC.
I found the Sega Dreamcast magazine, PC Gamer.
Well, it's not in the digital collection. It's in the library.
They physically have them.
They physically have them. And when you look it up in the library, they're not on the internet yet. But when you go, it's really funny. When you go, and bless their hearts, because they're right. When you go into the library category for that, and it's like they explain what the magazine is and how many issues they have or whatever. It does say it's like, just be forewarned. Like, there's a lot of misogyny and homophobia and just like sexual content in this thing, and it's just like, that's a good warning, because that's definitely what I remember about it when I was a teenager.
Great.
Yeah, we used to be a real country, and by real I mean bad, and then we continue to be bad.
Listen, John, we're gonna be right back there in just a second. So
you think we're gonna be? You think so? You think we'll be back?
Don't you freaking worry. They only had 22 issues.
Yeah, they was not around for long. It was very funny.
I see. Well, this sucks.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I only read them over at my friend Ben's house. Shout out to Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think you may have been automatically subbed to it if you were a PC gamer.
PC gamer. Yeah, that's what it seems.
And then they were like, no, you definitely want to be in on this. Now, guess what? Now, if you had to guess, Nikki, I just went to a website.
Yeah.
That kind of fried my browser and slowed everything down. And it took about 15 seconds for it to close the window when I tried. What website do you think it was?
Was it PCXL.com?
No, it's fandom.com.
Fandom.com. Yeah. So that's going to do it. That's good. Yeah. Again, as people who were formerly in the industry of making a website that made your computer too hot and
too
slow.
Hot. We are experts on
we are experts in understanding the things required.
My phone used to get so fucking hot going to fanbyte.com. It was crazy. It's fucking crazy. I was like, there was a moment in time where I was thinking like, wow, phones really get hot in a way they didn't used to. And it's like, I just kept thinking about it. I was like, no, it's this dumb fucking website that we run.
It's our website.
It's a fucking terrible website. You have no idea how much ad tech was layered on top of each other. In addition to the ad tech that was like, you're not using a fucking ad blocker, are you? We'll fish around that, which absolutely torches your phone. Stupid. I was still doing some work for one of our ex-clients after we were fired. Mm-hmm. And I was in like 5 or 6 calls with them and some clients trying to sell them on their ad tech. And it's like, I don't know, it was like after the 7th call or something. I sat down with whoever was kind of doing my supervisor, whoever my contact was. And I was just like, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. I'm like, I really like you. I don't think I respect your business.
Your business. Or kind of like what it stands for and what it does.
Yeah, now that I have some distance from it, I'm like, I don't think I need to be in this anymore.
No, you didn't. And you've been there for 3 years. Ever since.
I'm celebrating my 3-year anniversary.
That's awesome, John. Congrats.
But hey, Nikki, have you been playing anything?
So you were playing
I was playing Eternal Strands, and
you were playing Eternal Strands,
Ninja Gaiden
and I was like, wow, that game seems great. Mm-hmm. And then I found that it was on Game Pass, and then everyone made fun of me for finding out that it was on Game Pass.
No.
So
no, it was not that you found out that it was on Game Pass. I need you to try to do the take again of how you said it. Otherwise, I will.
No, I want you to do it.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Whoa, it's on Game Pass? This is the best day of my life. It's like literally what you said on this call. And we're like, wow.
Here's why. Because I had already sent a Slack message asking for code for it.
Sure.
So the reason it was the best day of my life was not particularly, I guess, because it was appearing
but
on
now
Game
you can
Pass.
undo
that is exactly
request.
correct. I was able to go in Slack and be like, actually, it's in Game Pass.
I'm good. Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's why it was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
And because of the Phil Spencer check cleared. But those are unrelated to the statement that I made.
Unrelated. So if you don't know what Eternal Strands is, it is a Mike Laidlaw game. Mike Laidlaw was the former creative director of the Dragon Age series, and it is an action role-playing game with this kind of it's kind of an elemental physics, not a sandbox, but you can kind of play your way, figuring out ways to defeat enemies and do things. And played a little over an hour. I think it starts slow, but I do think the ideas there are compelling enough that I do want to go back and play more of it. Yeah, it's one of those really interesting games that I feel like have come out in the past few years. Like Obsidian has made a few of these too, like the Outer Worlds, where it's like they don't quite have the budget they need to make this like really polished, but it's really close. It's close. Like it's one of those really interesting things. I do too. I like it.
Than it being. I want these things to feel like computer programs, which is to say, no one really knows how these. We are telling the computer to turn ones and zeros into fun.
Into fun. Yeah.
So like, I don't want it to feel perfect. That's why I don't like Sony PlayStation games. Is because they have like filed the edges off of all of it so like intentionally as to be something that is not, we are running a computer game on a magic box, that I'm like, okay, so then whatever. Who cares?
Who cares?
If the game that you were playing earlier looks like a video game to me, I'm amped about that.
Yeah. You
were playing Ninja Gaiden 2? That's a video game.
That's a video game.
That's a video game. It is janky. It looks like it sucks to interact with sometimes.
Sometimes
that's
it
great
does.
To me.
But I was having fun.
Awesome. Yes.
I didn't need to stop playing that. I did to try to go play Virtua Fighter 5 R.E.V.O, which
and then what happened, John? Because I went to go make lunch and I turned the stream back on. And what video game were you playing?
BioShock
Infinite.
So what happened?
What happened there?
So R.E.V.O was so bad that it was killing the stream and nobody could see anything. So I played one match of that and I quit. And then I opened my Xbox back up because apparently I just can't stream shit at the same time through PC. Sure. So I was like, all right, well, if I play Xbox, it'll be fine. And I was like, Michael Hyam, friend of the show, who is on the call. I have all of these games. And I kind of laughed and I said, I've got all the BioShocks. And Michael Hyam said, play BioShock Infinite. And I, with zero hesitation.
Yeah, no hesitation. You went to play.
Fired
you
it
opened
up.
The cube.
And I did play 15 minutes of that game.
You didn't play that game. You watched the beginning of it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of playing in that beginning. Yeah.
Why don't you just get a capture card for right now and then run video game off of box until fix computer? Hadn't thought about it. Okay. That's fine.
Wait, capture card for my PC?
For Xbox. Xbox capper card.
Nikki, what do you think I'm using to stream?
Why play Street Fighter personal computer?
Virtua Fighter?
Yeah.
Because it's not out anywhere else.
Not out anywhere else.
Yeah, it's on Steam.
I thought you on purpose chose to pick Virtual Fighter.
No. So
personal computer.
So
why only on
PlayStation? So the research I need to do, which I did not have time to do between then and now, is that they did an update for the PlayStation 4 version of Virtua Fighter 5, which I have on my PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
They did an update, but it's not called the R.E.V.O update. It's just like we updated stuff. So I don't know if it's literally the same thing. Or if these are two different things.
We fucked up so bad.
We did fuck up really bad. So if it is the same thing, I will just, next time I stream, I'll just do it on my PlayStation. But I use a capture card with everything else.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that part.
Yeah.
Because obviously, how else it get in there?
How else was I doing the other stuff?
Yeah, the rest of it.
Yeah, the rest of it. Yeah, it's a nice capture card. It's an internal one. It's it's a fancy one.
Oh,
nice.
I remember that. I gotta get a capture card.
Yeah, capture card. Yeah, I can help you build a PC like we did that one time.
Okay. I don't want one. Not because, very clearly, it's not because I don't want you to build it or interact with it. I do not want one. I just don't want it.
This is one of those things where I was so proud for like 2 days. Yeah. And I was just like, I was immediately like, I did not.
Should have just bought one, huh?
We just fucking wasted a weekend.
Yeah.
Completely a whole weekend. It's just insane.
It's fine. Here's the thing. Every computer costs $1 million now also.
Wait, what did you say?
If you want new computer, what's got the 50 series in it? It's like $2,000.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, those graphics cards are ridiculous. They're not as like massive though, which is kind of.
I'm typing in new computer into the box.
Noob.
Okay, computer. Wait. Name a company that sells computers.
NZXT.
Okay, NZXT. Aren't they canceled?
Are they canceled? Did they build a PC for Elon Musk or something?
Like probably. Now that's the thing, right? Now it's a situation where it's like, statistically speaking, one of these brands has done something stupid.
Of course.
So it actually is like the politically correct decision.
All of these have absolutely sent a fully kitted out PC to Asmongold. It doesn't matter.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't matter who you do. So it is probably politically more aligned to get not that. Okay, I'm looking on nzxt.com. If I want a 5080,
okay,
I have to pay them 3,000 American dollars for a personal computer with a 5080 in it.
That's crazy.
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Does Lenovo have compute? Do they make my GameCube still? They don't make my GameCube anymore. Is there any other news, Sean?
I don't think there's any other news. I think Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is really fun, and
that game is good.
I think that's a really good. I think that's a fun one.
I downloaded it and got to basically where you stopped today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good game. It's like, and you're right. Game. It is a video game, which is like that just feels good.
Yes.
Hey, we have some Hive questions. Let's get through these. Could not be worse. Thank you. You go to vgbs.com/join if you want to join the Hive. You can ask us Hive questions every single week. We'll ask them on the show. Could not be worse as our first follow up on y'all roasting Intergalactic in the last episode. Is there a game title with a colon in it that wouldn't be improved by just deleting everything after the colon?
Great question. Dragon Age, really good question. Veilguard.
Dragon Age the Veilguard would just call it Dragon Age. You could just call it Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Ollie.
Video games with colons.
If you're watching on video, you can see Ravioli's butthole, which is fun.
Wow, this is hard. How do you?
I mean, there's Jack and Daxter, the precursor legacy. Didn't need that. Didn't need it.
But some of them do need it. Legend of Zelda games, they need them.
Yeah, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. Yeah,
Animal Crossing needs them.
Animal Crossing. Yeah, I think if you're, I think could not be worse. You're probably asking less about sequels that need them to differentiate and more about original titles that I like. I think if you are making an original title, there's not been one before that. If you give it a colon, you do that is so stupid.
Yeah,
don't do that. They just couldn't call it Intergalactic nothing because I think the Estate of the Beastie Boys might have sued them or something.
Well, maybe they should have called it video game.
Lovic asks, how do you feel about the game Sex Divers, and what do you think deserves a porn knockoff? Now, this is the first time that I've heard.
I'm typing it in.
Sex
I'm
Divers.
on Steam right now. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, it's on Steam, huh?
Yeah, hold on.
Wow, folks, wow.
What?
Wow,
Wow, that's the video on Steam, huh? Wow, that's crazy.
Really don't try to hide what this game is like.
No. Now it's stopped. Now it's just a robot getting out of it. Oh, it's Helldivers.
It's Helldivers, but with a lot of sex in it.
Wait, this person is doing Helldivers stuff, but then they're watching porn in the corner of their hut.
In the corner? Yeah.
This is pretty good. This kind of bangs, actually.
This is pretty great. I am not a prude. I am shocked at how pornographic this is just on Steam's site. Maybe I just haven't been on these enough. But yeah, wow. If you do look it up, folks, if you do look up sex divers, it will immediately autoplay a hardcore sex scene. So just so you know that. Does it have?
There's a cum button, John.
There's a cum button. Let me see what the sound is like on this thing when you cue it up. Oh, yep. It's bad.
Is it
I would
sound?
not. Yeah, I would just not. If you're in any vicinity of work or family or whatever, just don't pull that up yet. But how do I feel about it? I don't know. I think stuff like this is really funny.
Yeah, it's
I guess it's fine. I think the This Ain't series needs to come to video games, you know? Like This Ain't God of War. Well, that was a porn series from like the 2000s. I was like, This Ain't Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
and it's
but it was
someone
Pirates
that
of the
looked like
Caribbean.
Jack Sparrow, just like, raw dogging it. But I think to narrow it down more, I mean, just Sonic the Hedgehog, huh?
This studio, John,
Yeah.
that made this video game,
Mm-hmm.
in the last, they release a video game every week. That's not a joke. So their first release this year is Sex Divers 18. In November of last year, they released a game called Cumverse 18 plus.
Okay.
And then
18 plus, sure.
Between January 2024 and May 11th, 2024, they released 4 video games. There was one at the end of January. There was one on April 20th. There was one on April 27th. And then there was one on May 11th. From July, April, March 2023, they went fucking crazy. In 2023, they released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25 video games in 2023. Most of them coming out every week. Like every other week, sorry. Every other week they released a brand new video game.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
With names like My Lovely Stepsister and Universe Income 2 and Sex Apocalypse 2.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
That's a lot of games. Good for them, I guess. Yeah, I think it's Sonic, huh? I think that's what I want.
Yeah, for sure. People love that guy.
Jason asking, what is your favorite game that released in 1996? Boy, there are a lot of really good ones. This is you would have been baby.
Yeah, it was anywhere between 1 month and 1 years old.
Yep.
The correct answer is Super Mario 64. That's not even like, huh?
Oh, I disagree. I think there are a lot of contenders here.
Name one video game, John.
I think Guardian Heroes is up there. I think Super Mario RPG is on there. I think Fighters Mega Mix is on there.
Nintendo went
I think some people are going to say Star Control 3 is on there, but I've never really played that, so I'm not going to say that. I think you're probably right that if like push comes to shove, if my brain is really forced to make a decision, I would probably say Super Mario 64, but Guardian Heroes for Saturn, really good. You should check it out. Fighters Mega Mix, a fighting game that combines.
You can fight. You can be Hornet.
You can be Sonic in that one. You can it mixes the play styles of both fighting Vipers and Virtua Fighter, which is a really neat, weird little mix of a game. It's the traditional fighting game equivalent of something like Super Smash Brothers for Sega, which I think is really great. And Super Mario RPG is it's still a banger. So lots to choose from. I think push comes to shove. I think I do agree with Niki, but I don't think it's as close. I think there are a lot of good contenders there. If you've never played Guardian Heroes, that's the one out of the games I just mentioned that I think like everyone should go check out. I think you can legally acquire it on Xbox, I think.
Acquire
Guardian Heroes.
Yeah.
I think you can. But don't quote me on that.
I will.
You will quote me on that. Damn.
Yeah.
Chihuahua Pugs asks, now the Video Game History Foundation library is available and searchable, what's the first term you plan to look up in old gaming magazines? I already did that. I looked up PCXL, and I'm kind of embarrassed I did it, but I was curious about it.
No, it's just because you like it so much.
I just like it so much. I miss when video games were all about girls, games, and gags.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Man, I do. John, listen. I do too.
Yeah, I know. I also looked up a couple of specific ads, but I haven't dived that deep into this yet. So I want to look for like some ads I remember, especially for like Cruising USA, and there's some PlayStation ads that were like really unhinged. I kind of want to see if they're good scans of those.
I wasn't old enough to be nostalgic for this stuff. So it is interesting to me in a different way.
Yeah, I bet.
Because now I will be able to look through this stuff kind of with fresh eyes, because I was not old enough to process it when this stuff was happening actively. What was I going to say?
Oh, Nikki's lost it. No.
Doesn't matter.
My Hero Zero, what would you rather play, Super Mario Sunshine or Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts?
Oh, actually, hold on.
I know.
That's a good one. That's a great question.
I thought it was. I thought I answered very quickly in my head when I read this, and then it was like, actually,
I have to play them to completion.
It doesn't say.
I think maybe we have to assume that you're playing it to completion.
Sure.
At least when you're playing Super Mario Sunshine, you're playing a Mario game.
Yeah.
Now, that's worth a lot.
It's worth a lot. I think
I also like Sunshine, but like the idea of going back and playing it now is kind of miserable to me. Like I don't think I would enjoy doing it.
It is aged, in my opinion, it is aged worse than Super Mario 64 has. It's close.
Yes.
It's close.
It's close, but yeah.
It's close, but I think it's aged a little bit worse.
It's also buggy. That's the other thing about
Super
Mario Sunshine.
It's weird.
It's unpolished. Like it is the least polished 3D Mario game. And that is why. Like I think I would be okay with it if it didn't have situations that I have seen repeatedly of you can just fall through the world.
Yeah, right.
Or there are levels that require you to get thrown by a guy who sometimes just throws you off the map.
Yep, just doesn't throw you where you're
that. Like I don't know if I want or need to do that. I haven't thought about nuts and bolts in 75 years, so it actually might be more fun.
Yeah,
to play nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
But I think my answer is probably Sunshine.
I think I'd say nuts and bolts just because I feel like the progression of Sunshine feels bad in my memory.
Yeah.
Like there are shots that you have to get in that game that are like straight up not fun to get.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Which like I don't really remember there being one of those in like Odyssey. Like at all. Like I don't remember playing Odyssey and being like, this was not fun at all for me to get.
No.
There might have been a few, but there were also 900 of them. So
I want to play Mario Odyssey.
That's a good game. Why didn't you play it?
I don't know where my Switch is.
You don't know where your Switch is?
I think it's at my mom's house.
Oh, okay.
I think I left it there for fires, and then I just don't think I packed it back up, and then I just haven't gone to get it. That's the end of my story.
That's a good story, though. What's your go-to pizza order? Thanks, Jason, for that question.
It depends on where I'm getting the pizza. Oh, actually, okay. Pineapple pepperoni.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all that goes on there. And then give me yours, and then I have a question.
It also kind of depends for me, but at least the local pizza place we like, Cane Rosso, they do a pepperoni bacon jam, and I think they put some red peppers on those things. I like that pizza a lot. It's really good.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Yes.
I accidentally have joined you on your trek of not doing DoorDash this year, which is like fine for me. I'd spend normal. If I wanted to order pizza and have it delivered to my home,
does that count?
If
Ann and I have had a long conversation about this.
Really?
Yes.
I can't figure out if it counts because traditionally it is older than DoorDash. However, the odds that when you put the order in on pizzahut.com,
it just comes
just DoorDash
is high.
Is really high.
Yes. Yeah.
So where did y'all land on it?
Unfortunately we landed on it is the same. So
that makes sense.
We go pick our things up.
That makes sense. I understand.
Yeah.
I haven't done it because I didn't know where to go, and because I'm following and copying you, I figured that you would be the arbiter in this situation. So you're saying
it's one of those things where we decided that there were no loopholes, because when you start to do loopholes,
then it falls apart.
It can fall apart. Now, grocery delivery is different. I want to be clear about that.
For sure.
Because grocery delivery is still a lifesaver. Now, sometimes it sucks. Where it's like you'll just have a guy that's like, yeah, you want an apple? I got you 3 heads of celery instead. That's fine, right? They're both green.
Apples is celery.
And I don't really want to blame the individual for that, but at some point you got to blame someone. I'm like, I wish it was just simpler than that. But it's like
fault.
sometimes it's somebody's fault.
Sometimes
somebody decided to get celery instead of an apple, and it wasn't me. And I don't think it was the head of Kroger or whatever.
No, they didn't choose that. No.
So Jason also asking, what's your should I get a cheap retro handheld? Totally depends on what you want to do with it.
Get a Trim UI brick.
Those are pretty cool.
Move on with your life.
The Game Boy SP.
The Ambernick RG35 SP
is pretty neat. And if you can get one for like less than like $70, just do it.
Doable. Things are on sale all the time.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing to have. If you could pocket it, that's a plus in my opinion. Also, Jason has one more question. Actually, 2 more questions. Jason has a lot of actually good questions.
Thanks, Jason.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Kyle Lamar.
I forgot about that.
Lamar.
Fuck. What a brave soul Mike Minotti is.
King.
To just say.
What a hero.
Just to say it,
Right now, probably Doechii. I'm exiting my rap arc, which was just to listen to Doechii and Kendrick Lamar over and over again. I've replaced it by listening to Ride Like the Wind by Christopher Cross.
Yeah. You got really into yacht rock over the past
so I'm yacht rock filled again,
which is cool.
Which is honestly a kind of an insane swerve. But there is one very obvious bridge, and it's Regulate. So like if the bridge is Regulate to get me out of rock or out of rap and into yacht rock, I'll look for that bridge every time.
I think it is Kendrick for me. I know that's like an easy answer, but I just, no one else does it lyrically like him. And I also love just like the clarity of his raps and the musicality of the tracks that he lays down. I don't know. I just really like it. I'm excited, but I'm also like, what the fuck is the Super Bowl halftime show going to be like? I don't really have like a great sense of that.
No idea.
I just have no idea.
They put SZA in it for a reason. Because she wasn't always going to be there.
Is SZA going to be there? Oh, if this was
now they've done
going to get
it's
Luther
a
in a hologram.
Oh, bring him back, Luther Vandross. Yeah, I have no idea, but I do think that they put her in for a reason.
That's got to be. So, well, good. SZA will be there.
We'll see.
Some say she's really pretty.
Yeah, I agree. I have a hot take. I have a hot take about SZA.
What's your hot take?
I'll do it. My SZA hot take is she's just Black Taylor Swift. Like
wait, in what regard?
She kind of seems like she sucks. She minds
a little bit.
She minds the same fucking well over and over and over again, which is not to say, like, very critically, I do think she is unbelievably talented.
Sure.
But also, like, if you sit and listen to her lyrics, it is the same. I'm depresso, but it's fine that I'm depressed because
for sure.
I'm really pretty and hot. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, no, for sure. I get it.
She brings it to all of her collabs, which I also think is really funny too.
Yes.
And it's like, really funny. Yeah, it's true.
I like some of her tracks, but like I don't love SZA as much as people do. Yeah. She's annoying to me.
That's funny.
But like in my brain, I'm like Black Taylor Swift. Like same presses is pressing the same buttons. Scale different, obviously. It was like is pressing the same buttons with the way that she like fosters her audience, the way that she talks about her own music, the way that she like moves through the world. It feels the same to me.
So Nikki's calling it is going to be dating Lamar Jackson next year, and then we're going to have this weird like.
God, that would be so fucking annoying.
That would be so annoying. Are we ready? All right, hey folks. Okay, you did your SZA hot take. Here's what I have.
Yeah.
It is annoying that they cut to Taylor Swift all the time at these football games. It is annoying, and I'm sorry. I don't know I don't know what to tell you. It is annoying.
She's not there. Like she's not playing. Who cares?
It's weird. They do it too much. I don't mind that she's there and having fun. It's not that. No. It's just I'm like. If they cut to anyone in the stands that much, I'm annoyed. They did that with Chris Christie at a Cowboy game. And I'm like, I don't want to see this guy anymore. I don't give a fuck if he's having fun in the booth with Jerry. I don't give a shit. Quit showing him to me.
John, when the Chiefs win 3 in a row next week, does she get proposed to on the field?
I don't think she would.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I think she is aware enough to not want that to happen. However,
yes,
I don't know if Travis Kelce
is aware
of that.
And I'm sure they've had 1,000,001 conversations about it.
Nikki. She has made him sign a piece of paper.
Yes, that says
that he will not do something like that.
God, can you imagine waking up and you get to the kitchen and there's a piece of paper on the fucking countertop that's like, hey, I need you to sign this. Please read and sign this.
Please read it. Yeah. like, sweetie, I absolutely want to marry you. That sounds great. I love you so much. If you propose to me when you win the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in a row, I will actually pull out a gun and kill you right there. And because you signed this, I'll be legally protected.
Obligated actually to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She also probably just want to get engaged in New Orleans.
Or probably not.
Like at the Superdome? No, probably not.
No, probably not. Please at the Caesars.
The Caesars Superdome. Back in my day, it was the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, John. back when this nation had culture.
We had culture. We had German cars sponsoring our huge mega stadiums. All right, we have wait, does Sonic have
Hit
a
them
soul?
all, John.
Does Sonic have a soul from Bone Chug Axel?
Yeah, he does.
I think he does too.
Yeah,
I think he does too.
I think
What's
Sonic is fine. His games are not very good, but
what's the Coney Island chili cheese dog of video games?
what does that mean?
Don't know.
What does that mean?
Don't know. I'm gonna say it's NFL Street too.
Okay, that's a great answer, I think.
Right.
Earlier on the stream, we were trying to figure out, Lotus, myself, Michael, and John, we're trying to figure out which game on a matrix of all video games are either a hot dog or a hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
What is what?
What is what?
But I don't know. I think NFL Street Volume 2 final answer, I guess, is good.
Yep. I think so too. There's one serious one I'll save for the last one, and then Isaac asks, "What do you think it's going to take for Xbox to get back into the glory hole?" Which we kind of answered, but I did want to read the question out loud.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's a really good question. Yeah, no, we talked about it. They're going to make one box and a handheld that is as powerful as the Series S, and then they'll move on with their lives. And you'll either buy them or you won't.
Papa Bear Zach asks, "What's the horny singles in your area of video games?"
It is those. It's like Monopoly Go.
Oh, you're so right. That's a great answer. It's Monopoly Go.
It's Monopoly Go.
That's a great answer. Yeah. Monopoly Go is so weird. Those ads are
should
crazy.
we play Monopoly Go?
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should be Monopoly Go influencers.
Should we start streaming Monopoly Go?
Sure, let's do it. All right, Jason asked one final question today. Rare, serious question for me. Any plans to have other guests on VGBs? Yet some banger guests on Sunday Scroll. Thank you so much. Might be worth hitting people up for this show.
Get Niki the fuck off this show. That's what they're saying. I see you.
That is
I will find you.
Not what Jason's saying.
No, you should. Yeah, we should have more people on here.
I think more guests is good. I'm definitely not the world's worst at this because I know people who are worse at it. But I'm not great at just kind of reaching out to people and being like, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?"
It's free. You got to do it.
My fear is that whenever someone's on the show, not much is happening, and that's in their wheelhouse, or they're busy, and they'll be kind of like, feeling like left in the lurch. So I've been a little bit slow to do that, but I do want to do a lot more of that. And it'd be great to have some kind of off the wall guests as well that aren't necessarily games journos and stuff like that. So there are plans. Yes, I just need to there's even a spreadsheet of people I want to ask to be on the show. So I need to start just going down that list and scheduling stuff like I kind of planned to do last summer and then got away from. But yeah, these are all great questions.
Happened?
What happened? What do you mean?
I don't know.
You mean online?
Yeah.
I mean, plane flew into a helicopter and no one knows why. And then apparently, the only thing I know is that apparently Trump was asked in the Oval Office, "Do you plan on visiting the crash site?" And he goes, "What's the site? The water? You want me to go swimming?" Which, hey, folks, I'm sorry. That's really funny. It's really funny. Like it makes me feel a specific way that I cannot speak into this microphone. Okay. But I can also tell you, and I can speak this into the microphone, it's really funny. It's really funny to ask an adult who is in charge of everything, are you going to go visit the place where this horrible crash happened on your watch? What do you want me to do? Go swimming? This is really funny. That's all I know that has happened. I don't know if anything else has happened, but we will get off of this call and investigate.
I'm not going to investigate shit.
That's fine. I'll investigate for the both of us, and I won't tell you about it.
Thank you.
You can join the Hive. Go to vgbs.com/join. There have been a few articles I posted this week, so you should go check those out. I got back on my kind of writing grind, which has been a lot of fun. So go check those articles out. Nikki, do you have anything to plug before we get on out of here?
No, not yet. Next week, though.
Next week?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if we can get the forwarding working, huh?
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Fucking lied.
No, it didn't work.
Fucking lied.
Yeah. We'll wait next week.
Wait, no. Not yet.
Not yet?
No. So
Give
stall, John. Stall.
Keep vamping? Okay, vamping.
Stall.
You can actually go get Fledgling Manor on Steam right now. It's made by our friends LB and Merritt K. You can get a wonderful game called Interstate 35 that I published. Julie Muncie made that game, and it's really great. You can go get that on Steam. You can also pre-order a glider right now. That is a foot control device for video games, VR, and much more. I am part of the founding team of that, and we are so excited to ship those out in the spring. You can go to glider.gg or go to feetlegal.com, and you can pre-order yours now just for $30 down, which is
John,
a very low price. Nikki,
can you go to this link?
Where are you?
I'm going to text it to you.
You're going to text it to me, okay?
And tell me what happens. Oh, it works there.
This is good podcasting.
It's fine.
It works.
It's interesting. Okay, go to makeyoutthink.club and put your email in the box. It's a newsletter.
That's a Nikki newsletter, folks. This is
a Nikki newsletter.
This is
exclusive. Makeyoutthink.club.
Makeyoutthink.club.
So what happens is that on my computer, it doesn't work.
On my computer, it did work just now.
Okay, so maybe it's just
congratulations. Yeah, it might just be cached.
That's great.
So we did it, Nikki. Great job. And by we, I mean you. I love the font on the thing. It's nice.
Thanks.
What is that?
It took me a while to find it.
Huh.
It's called
bullshit.
RL
Stein.
Aqua, except the U is a V.
Ooh, Aqua. Okay. Cool.
Aqua.
Please go sign up for Nikki's newsletter. What's going to be there? Just kind of,
musings. I think my goal of it is I'm trying to have a place that is not Instagram.com to take pictures or to post pictures. Mm-hmm. I would like a longer form place to do posts because I'm trying to not scroll, which I'm like already doing, not to blow smoke up my own ass, a great job of doing. Mm-hmm. But if my bigger goal is to be on these platforms less, but still kind of say words, I need to have a place that is mine for said words, right? So I got a ghost page and I set it up. And makeyoutthink.club. It's free for right now and will be free, but at some point I'm going to turn the money machine on.
Well, the money machine is on my end just now.
Awesome.
Actually, they were both on. So okay. you had a choice. You can support or do it for free. So
well, that's good. Listen, did you know that Ghost.io? Here's the thing. The Substack people fucking suck. However, they do know how to make an app.
I know.
I will say that.
I know. That's
they know how to make a fucking app. This ghost shit sucks. Half of it is like is less functional than WordPress. I can't run a custom font.
I can't. I poked around with Ghost for VGBs and it was not good. Dylan and I were like, we couldn't. We were like, no way. Yeah.
No, like I can't run a custom font.
Yeah,
in the web, in the newsletter. It has to be one of their like 9 fonts. And then I have to buy a theme that costs like $90, but you can't test the theme before you buy it.
Really?
My headphones just died. So,
so we'll get out of here. Okay. All right. So go to makeyoutthink.club, sign up for Nikki's new newsletter. It's very exciting. Thanks so much for joining us this week. We had a loopy one, but this ended up being a good one. Thanks so much for your support. You can find us on VGBs everywhere. And tell your friends about us. We would love more folks to come through our community, our Discord, all that stuff. We're trying to grow it all the time. And we have a really supportive and great set of folks that are hanging out all the time over on our Discord, discord.gg/VGBs. All right, folks. Until next time, keep on buzzing. Bye.
Bye.